So anyway, my report, first thing I want to mention is the upcoming proxy campaign at Verizon. The annual meeting is May 11th in Salt Lake City this year. We have two proxy proposals on the ballot. Item number 7, clawback, which I will be presenting, and item number 8, golden parachutes, which Director Frank Bruzak will be presenting. Now, we got 44% on the golden parachute last year, which was a 6% increase. If we only get 6% this year, it's going to be a majority. And unfortunately for Verizon's board of directors, we'll mandate that they implement it. Got 37% on the clawback, which was also a small increase, but we think it's responsibility. Hey, look, we all did our work. We were all disciplined. If we made mistakes, whether they were intentional or not, there were consequences. So we feel that the corporation should also treat their high-level people the way they treat their employees. Now, we've been successful with proxies for over 20 years. Our first win was in 2003, and that was a huge win, 59% on executive compensation. And, you know, we've won 3 by over 50%. We've negotiated 9. We removed them from the proxy ballot when the company said, hey, you know, don't put this to a vote. Don't embarrass us. We'll do what you say. You know, we'll do what you want, or at least meet you in the middle and mitigate it to a reasonable metric. So we've been quite successful, you know, at Verizon. And this year, we filed a proxy proposal at AT&T for the first time. Now, the proxy proposal we filed, we called it the golden coffin. And the reason we called it the golden coffin is when AT&T's board of directors leaves the board or they die, besides their 2.9 year salary they get preferred share units or reserve share units that have a maturity date, a threshold to meet to become vested. Well, they become vested immediately. And the real reason we filed the golden coffin is because they reduced the life insurance for over 200,000 active and retired employees at AT&T. They lost billions, $10 billion in bad investments at, like, you know, Time Warner and places like that. So where did they fill the hole? They used the employees' lifelong assets to fill those holes. They didn't touch one single penny of their own assets. Pretty gracious of them. Hey, you know, I want all mine and I'll take it away from all my employees. So that really angered us. Now, our proxy at AT&T was knocked off the ballot by the Securities and Exchange Commission. I mean, they fought tooth and nail. Now, don't forget, Securities and Exchange Commission, a lot of them are appointees from the leftover administration that was very conservative, corporate leaning, in my opinion, when I say conservative. But we're not giving up the effort. We will go back after AT&T next year. We've also, this year, we've become a growing focus on OSHA advocacy since last year. And a lot of times, we didn't even know we were exposed to toxic carcinogens. I mean, take it. If you ever climbed a pole, Your head is less than 40 inches from that electromagnetic field of power above you. And you never think of it. It's invisible. You know, you never see it. So we've recently had a survey of over 850 responses to our members who worked with the toxic carcinogens during their career. 60% of the respondents, of the 850 respondents, worked with, you know, toxic solder, lead, you know, during their career. We also, as far as the legislative agenda, we had support for the 9/11 Notification Act, where employees, we're just asking the employees, like a Verizon, anybody that worked down at 9/11, just give your employees a letter saying they were working there, so they would be eligible for federal funds and future health care if they need it. You know, hopefully they don't, but, you know, just admit to the truth. You know, they work there, you know. But these things, it's like pulling teeth. You actually have to make them mandated through legislation. You know, we had AT&T, we had Verizon workers, we had Empire City Subway consultants, a lot of people working down there exposed to 9/11. Finally, in the 1975 13th Street fire, 2nd Avenue, there was the first firefighter on the scene, Danny Noonan, retired firefighter Danny Noonan. His house was 1 block away, right? It was on 13th Street and 3rd Avenue. The building's 13th Street and 2nd Avenue. And 699 firefighters responded to that fire, and over 50% of them came down prematurely with cancer. They retired at that time. More firefighters retired on disability pension than any other fire event in the entire history of the New York City Fire Department. All right? So Danny was fighting for years for recognition, not only for the 699 firefighters that responded. Don't forget that building burnt for 2 days, you know, burnt right into the next day. But also for the 1,000 of telephone workers that came from all over the country to rebuild the communication system. So finally, last May, there was a dedication out at the New York City Fire Academy on Randall's Island. And they have a whole dedication wall, pictures, the bronze plaque that was made up. And just recently, they put the bronze plaque on the front of the 13th Street building. But it took 47 years to get recognition. But Danny never quit. He was a real crusader. He never gave up. What's right is right, you know what I mean? And I really applaud Danny. And so if you ever pass the 13th Street building, you got to look up about 12 to 13, 14 feet, because they put it up above graffiti level, so nobody can spray. No, really, that's the neighborhood down here. You have to make it graffiti proof. Okay, and we need more retiree employee leaders stepping forward to volunteer and join our BellTel efforts. You know, we can't do it without you. We wouldn't do what we've done so far without you. Okay, listen up. I'm going to finish with this one thing. One of my favorite sayings. Wealth is not measured by what we acquire in life, okay? Wealth is a measurement of what we can afford to give away, true wealth. So, give till you feel good. Thank you.